Hi guys, welcome to Fandom Feels Book Club number 9. Today we are discussing The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh. I'm not sure if I said that correctly, and I apologize. As you all know, if you watch this, I have a thing about pronunciations. As you see, we had Nat holding up the book there. Hello, Nat.
Hi.
And we also have Ellie, who has her copy of the book.
Technically the library's copy, but hi!
Which
means we support library use.
Yay!
Yes, libraries are important, people. And you can follow along with us as we discuss this really awesome book with the hashtag Fandom Feels, and we'll be following that on Twitter, so if you have anything that you'd like to interject, please do so, because we love to hear from you guys. Alright, so first of all, because you guys just held up this book, and I think it's kind of an interesting fact, something that I didn't really consider, but then I saw it on the internet and it kind of blew my mind, is that some people have had issues with this book because they have trypophobia, which is the fear of holes, in particularly an irregular pattern involving holes, which this cover has. And Nat is now taunting people who have this condition. And
Wait, Natasha, is yours soft or hard as well?
It's a hardcover.
Okay.
So the important thing to know is this should not hold you back from getting this book. If you really want it, that cover, it comes right off. And there's a beautiful book underneath without any holes. So you can enjoy it, and you should. Alright. So this is
sorry.
a really pretty picture inside.
Yeah, it's a picture of our main character, Shahrzad. Beautiful.
She is very pretty, of course, but okay, let's start with this whole... what the story kind of comes off is it's based roughly on 1001 Arabian Nights or 1001 Nights, and...
Wait, sorry. Can I just say one more thing about this book that's really cool?
Sure.
So the pages are, like, uneven. Is yours like that too? Yeah.
Yes.
It's really cool. I think it gives it an illusion of it being like a really old book, like before everything was done so perfectly. But it's really cool. It just gave it something extra as I was reading. And at first I was wondering if like it was based on the chapter, like each chapter started on a page that was like out more. But no, it's just random. But it just gives it something more like authentic. I don't know. It felt cool.
Which it probably is meant to look a little bit like an old book because it is based off this very old collection of short stories. It's based in like ancient Arabic culture, and it's really cool, and there are a lot of stories involved. I'm not going to pretend like I know that much about it because I don't, but reading this book makes me wish that I knew more. And you really do, in the book, get the feel for that setting, that, like, really, you know, old empire kind of vibe to it. It was really cool. And of course we have our main character, who is Shahrzad, who goes to volunteer herself to wed the
Sorry.
the King of Kings, as they call him.
Or the Caliph.
The Khalid. And I'm sorry, Ellie made me laugh. Now I'm all up.
I volunteer.
Oh gosh.
Yes, she did essentially volunteer as tribute.
She volunteered as tribute.
Because she did think that there was a very good possibility that she was going to die in the process.
Yeah.
Homegirl volunteered as tribute. So the question being, was that stupid or was that brave?
Is it cheating if I say both?
I think that's the best answer. But it's also kind of cheating.
But it's true. Okay, so knowing what she knew, it was stupid. And like she finds that out pretty quickly too, because this isn't really a spoiler yet. Like as soon as she gets there, she finds out he didn't even go visit most of the girls.
Oh yeah, important detail. He kills all of these chicks after
Oh,
he marries
yeah.
them. So that's why she's volunteering as tribute, and that's why she's either stupid or brave. Because
So,
she goes there thinking she could just kill him and end all this.
right.
But what would you, like, if you had to choose one or the other, which one would you say is more?
I'm gonna go with, if I had to choose, I think I'd go with brave.
Yeah, me too. But I wish she had like stopped and collected more information first.
But the information isn't readily available to anyone. I think
Right.
there
She
are
would have she would have needed to
people.
like spy and stuff.
Which, well, she did kind of get it all out of him in a way. But it's hard, obviously, to know exactly what's going on because we meet, I believe, prior to Shahrzad finding out, Shahzad, I'm sorry, um, finding out there are 3 people who know, maybe 4, if
At
we count,
least.
because we have the uncle, the cousin,
Yeah,
and
the general, the captain, and him.
Is that it?
I think that, I mean, maybe.
that, and he has the magician.
Oh yeah, the healer.
Does he even know exactly what the story is though, or does he just know that he can't sleep?
That's true.
Don't know that.
Are we getting into spoiler territory, by the way?
Well, I think it's safe to assume that during a book club, we will be spoiling some details. We have not really spoiled anything except that Khalid has a secret that very few people know.
Right. And you honestly you find out a lot quicker in the book than I was expecting.
You do, actually, or
As
you
a reader. She
at
doesn't.
least learn that there's reasons behind his behavior that
Yes.
aren't purely his own very quickly.
Like before the book starts, I think.
Well, it's in the prologue,
Right.
the curse, but you're not quite sure what exactly that means until he explains it
Right.
to Shahrzad.
Yes.
I don't think it's supposed to be the secret to the audiences so much as the secret to the people of his country.
Right.
Which is why it's such a big problem, obviously, because it doesn't say exactly how many girls he's killed, but at this point I think it's safe to assume that dozens have been killed, including
she said it was
Diva, who
close.
is
I feel like it had to be like in the 90s. Oh, they said it was 3 months.
3. Oh, they did say it was 3 months?
They said it'd been a
Well,
girl a day for 3 months.
no. I mean, he had to get rid of 100. He was close to that. It
Right.
doesn't mean that he has to be like it. I mean, basically, yeah.
No, it
I
had
mean,
to be.
technically, when you think about it, a one a day type of thing. But I think, yeah, I mean, I guess that would be like 3 months. So,
Well, no, it said for 3 months. It said it had been 3 months.
In the curse?
yeah, well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like
In the curse?
that's probably about right because 3 months, that's about 90.
Right. So the curse said it had to break the curse it had to be 100,
Yes.
but she said this had been going on for 3 months.
Before she was there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was close. Like he said, he didn't have that many basically to kill. So essentially, yeah, I mean, that's the whole idea is that he has his curse, but we don't know why. We don't know that story, and that's what we find out later on in the book.
Yeah, I think that's the big reveal. As
To the reader, yeah.
Yeah, to the reader. The whole thing is a big reveal to her, of course, but to the reader, we know that there's something up with Khalid. It's just a matter of figuring out the exact details of his curse.
And I do want to say I like that we know that he's not just a monster the whole time, because otherwise I feel like we would kind of be hating the protagonist as she's like starting to fall for him. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree, because I'm one of those people, occasionally in books, I think a good example of this is the Grisha series by Lee Bardugo and The Darkling, and people thought The Darkling was so sexy.
It's so creepy!
He was a thing, and I was like, the dude's an evil bastard, why? Like,
yes!
And, I'm glad I didn't feel that way, because I'm that person that when everyone else is like, oh, but he's so dreamy, he's so bad. I'm
no, he's evil and creepy.
He has emotional issues, and you need to get away.
Thank you. Girl after my own heart.
You should be attracted to. But anyway, but because everyone else has this impression of him, we also have a big issue with Tariq, who is Shahrzad's childhood love, who it seems like they haven't seen each other in quite some time, because she has been in the city with her family, and the book suggests that she's been living there. However, they do seem to be maybe not promised to each other, but expecting to end up together in the beginning of the book. And so he takes great issue with this, of course. And it's an interesting dynamic, because as his war campaign goes on, did you really feel that it was about her or more about something else?
Well, considering Shazi, or not Shazi, Shiva, was, was it
his cousin?
His cousin? Mm-hmm. That would definitely be a reason. And then for her to go off and do that, of course, I mean, if you wanna put an alternative reason, it's probably because she already went, and he's like, well, I need to do that, so proving his, I don't know, manhood, if you call it that.
I got that vibe too.
But well, you know what? I didn't even think about it until you just mentioned it. I mean, for the most part, I just figured, he's just really pissed off now, because the Caliph has already taken Shiva, and now, he's taking his love. Mm-hmm. And, and yeah, I mean, for him, he feels his duty that he needs to save her. So, and in order for that to happen, of course, then he would have to start this war. Mm-hmm. And he is obviously a very impatient, rash young man. But in a way, that's kind of like how Shahrzad is, because she just took off and went over there without telling anybody. Left a note, so I guess they just have their own ways of dealing with it. But it seems like her going there is definitely the instigator, or I don't know, the reason why he would start, because he didn't do it when Shiva died. Nothing happened then. But now, because she's there, then yes, he must.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is mostly about her, which actually pisses me off. So, like, I don't know. This will make sense to anyone that knows how I feel about certain other characters. But at a certain point, I started calling him Aspen. who, by the way, at a certain point in his own series, I started calling Gale.
And if you don't know who Aspen is, he is a character in the Selection series by Kara Cass. Gale is a character in the Hunger Games series, if you don't know that book.
Shame on you if you don't know that.
I despise with every bone of my being.
No, I don't.
Okay, no, but like it wasn't so like Aspen to me, I don't hate Aspen nearly as much as I hate Gale. So the fact that I chose to call him Aspen and not Gale is also saying something. But I had that type of feeling towards him. This like, why are you even here? What are you doing? You're just making things worse. Type of feel.
But at the same time, you know, I mean, the thing is that these guys love, you know, they feel that they love this person. I mean, obviously, especially with Tariq, you know, they grew up together. What I'm trying to explain, I'm just saying, I know you don't care, but I'm just saying that he has his reasons. You know, he has his reasons. And they're not unjustifiable. They are kind of justifiable in the fact that they did grow up together, and you know he loves her.
Well, the funny thing is, as a rule, I'm usually a supporter of like the couple that grew up together being together in most. Although I feel like that's not true anymore.
No, because the Hunger Games,
because those three I just named, I'm very like against.
No.
I used to be like that though. Gale's just ruined everything.
I think that Tariq has the best of intentions, and that he really does mean well by her, but at the same time, there's like an issue there where he seems to think that he's entitled to her once we hit a critical point in the story where he realizes that she may want something different than what he's always expected of her. At which point it doesn't feel like he respects her and her wishes so much as like kind of shames her and tries to show her the right way.
Yeah, I think entitlement is a good word.
Yeah.
He also did not, and this is, you know, in regards to what she knows about him, though. And it's so funny because, like, she wrote this letter to him, and of course he doesn't read it all. And she even says, oh, of course you didn't read it all. So, of course he's going to show up. What is funny is that, like, if she knows him, she did not expect this, that he would actually try and go after her, which I find kind of...
Well, she kind of did. She was standing there being like, he wouldn't show up, would he? He's totally going to show up.
Well, yeah, but I'm
totally
saying,
gonna show
like,
up.
right when, you know, in the beginning when it happened, it's like it never even crossed her mind to mention that until he actually did show up, you know?
I think she expected to be over and done with it all long before he did.
Probably.
She was originally expecting to kill him just as soon as she got the opportunity. And then she realized she needed to figure out his secrets.
Yeah.
And so she didn't go and kill him. And I think in the process she kind of forgot about Tariq a little bit. Meanwhile, he's like raising an army in her name and ready to overthrow the king, causing all sorts of awful trouble.
Oh my goodness. Not to mention her father.
So, alright.
That's another character.
Yeah, so that's really the hard part with him. It's not a character that I want to hate, and I do think he has good intentions, but eventually I think I'm gonna hate him. You know?
Like in the next book, you mean?
Quite possibly.
I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that.
But alright, we won't get to next book predictions now. We will leave that to the end. So, here's a question that we asked the author in our interview with her from San Diego Comic-Con, and I think it's a really good question, and I believe it is Net's question. It's, Do you think that Khalid was being selfish when he refused to sacrifice Shahzad? Or do you think that love kind of trumps everything else? Because he did, in no way did he save himself, or did he lift the curse, and his people are still probably screwed because of his actions. So, was he selfish, or was he noble?
You know what's so funny? When I asked this question, I had not read the book yet. And I had asked her that because a fan had asked. And now that I remember,
No, just kidding.
I think I kind of remember what she said, but
I was gonna ask because I kind of just want to go with whatever she said.
well, for me, I'm going to say this. I think he is being kind of selfish because in the beginning, it's not like he loved her yet. He hadn't fallen in love with her, but he was intrigued by her, and you know, and then you find out later on that he knew that she hated him, and he was still intrigued, and he still, he could have just killed her. He could have just either killed her or let her go, but he didn't, and he knew that that was going to be a problem, especially with this curse, and and that it will affect his whole kingdom, and yet he did it anyway. He kept her from. He didn't kill her, so there is some selfishness in that, because he's just thinking about himself at that point. He's not thinking about the kingdom of what could happen and stuff. So that's what I think.
I really want to say no, but I think the answer is yes. I really want to say that it wasn't a selfish act, but the fact is, like, they did try to find other ways around the curse, and they couldn't.
No, it's true because I feel like after he chooses to stay married to her, you kind of see him pushing his luck with certain things, seeing what will happen. Like when it's still raining and everyone's happy that it's still raining because they think that there's going to be some sort of desert conditions as a result of this issue. And they're all kind of waiting for this shoe to drop. So he's definitely testing this curse in a way that is selfish. But the same way, like, it's so hard to be like, oh, you're selfish for saving somebody's life because you were intrigued by them. He's not in love with her, but at least he's not murdering her.
He sees she's more than just a nameless person to let die.
But then later on, what was it, like a few days later when they are about to kill her, he almost did let that happen. So there was a point when, he was like, okay, I gotta stop my selfishness, but then he doesn't. And then at that point, it's like, so is that selfish or is that love? And I think when you read the letter that he writes, it's like, okay, so he is falling in love with her, but you don't, you don't know
his
that.
heir.
I've got to say this book is very poetic. It'll make you smile with its kind of lovely lyrical bits. So, and I did like that, like the air I breathe, or it's something of that nature, and it was lovely.
Yeah, his whole letter was beautiful.
In a very
and what was
depressing way.
I know. Well, I was gonna say what was heartbreaking was the letters that he had written to the other families, which were never sent.
You have to wonder too. It's kind of funny because clearly she's beautiful, but at the same time, I'm sure some of the other girls were too.
Mm-hmm.
So why was
But
he
he never,
going to
he
keep
never even
her
really
but none of them?
looked at them, though.
I think he kind of knew, you know, it's like it had to be done, and he wanted to like do it as quick
Separate
as
himself.
possible.
Yeah.
But the fact that Shazi had actually volunteered, don't laugh. She had volunteered herself to,
I
you know,
wasn't going to until you said that.
to do this. It kind of like it piqued his interest
Mm-hmm.
from the very beginning, and
Well,
then
yeah,
her stories did too. So
like I was saying earlier, he didn't even go visit the other girls that
Yeah,
night.
exactly.
He didn't share a bed with them. He didn't do any of that.
So
And
it's not
then,
even a matter of her storytelling because the other girls he didn't even speak to. So prior to that, he had to kind of see something in her.
well, it's because she volunteered.
Is it
but
because
he saw them.
Really?
I think he at least saw them either on the day
Well, they married him. There was
yeah,
a
but
wedding.
I'm saying like because with Shiva, he said that he saw her and she forgave him. He said that she said that I don't know if she said it, but that
Oh, that's true.
that she forgave him even
Probably
though
in the
he was
morning that
dying.
they
She was
die.
gonna die.
Oh yeah,
That's
he's
why I'm
there.
thinking. I'm like,
He's there when they die.
and which is weird because he wasn't there when
He
Shahrzad
couldn't.
was going to. So I guess
He
I don't know if it
couldn't.
differs each time.
Well, they
Maybe for
talked
him it
about
differs.
that. They talked about the fact that he was always there for everybody else, but he couldn't watch it with her. So he was purposely staying away. But then he couldn't do that either, knowing what was happening.
Okay, so get into this a little more because we have, the initial volunteering. We have him deciding not to kill her. Let's fast forward a bit. We're getting to the end when
That was fast.
she sees what she believes is the curse's destruction on the kingdom, when really it's her dad.
Yeah.
But and she's at that point she realizes that the world essentially is that as she knows it will come to an end if she does not sacrifice herself to the curse, and she's willing to do it in a way that's kind of scary, and hopefully that doesn't turn out too awful, but it probably will. Anyway, do you think she would have been so willing to kind of save the kingdom if she hadn't been aware, or if she had been aware of this earlier? Do you think if Khalid went in on that first night and was like, look, I'm cursed, people are going to die, and this kingdom is going to go to hell in a handbasket if you don't die, do you think she would have sacrificed herself then?
There definitely would have been. I mean, there would not have been an immediate answer either way. She definitely would have regretted her choice to volunteer at that point.
He's like, oh, is that why you've been killing all these people?
Oh, that kind of makes sense now.
Okay. Well, that in general, too, do you think if he were to just be straight up with the whole kingdom and was like...
He wasn't allowed to.
It says in the curse that he can't tell anyone?
It was part of the... No. Yeah. So...
I don't remember that bit.
It doesn't say it in there.
It's not in the actual curse, but then they were talking about part of it being that, like, the fathers of the girls couldn't know because they need to feel the same pain that
well, no, that was just from the father, but
it's not.
He just wanted them to feel the same pain, but I don't think it says that he couldn't tell.
I don't think it was in the actual curse, but there was something that people were saying.
No, I know. What I'm saying is that he said it to him, but I don't think it was part of the curse. Because the curse
Yeah.
is, is ruled by the, the what is actually the official,
I guess.
part.
The
So
official lines of the curse are all that count.
so I was thinking about that too. I was like, why wouldn't he? But at the same time, it would be like, if he did, people wouldn't want that. They'd either run or they'd probably want to kill him instead. Not that they wouldn't already, but it just put. I think it would just put him more in danger than what he's already in, than the danger that he was already in.
You think
And
people knowing that he's killing people for the good of everybody would put him more in danger than
put him more in danger
seeming like he's killing people for no reason at all?
because the other, like his uncle, would find that a reason to take him off throne right away. So yeah, I think it would put him in more danger in a different way than what he's in right now, probably.
Yeah, unless he lied and was like, and there's a clause in there that says this whole kingdom is also going down if I die in any fashion. So, so back off. All right.
It's true.
So, moving on from that,
I mean, well, as far as that goes, as far as that question goes, I think that I don't know if she would believe him, but if she did believe him at that point, like he would tell her straight up, that's the case. I don't know. I think she probably would.
I was so mad at him for keeping this from her. That's like the only thing I was mad about. I'm like, just tell her. What is the problem? I don't understand. Just tell the truth.
Just tell her about this lifelong plague that is, ruining your existence.
Yes! What's so difficult about that?
When you fall in love with somebody and you tell her that could be a problem. I can see why he wouldn't want to.
But she was like begging him to tell her.
I know, but again.
And he just got mad at her for it.
Yeah.
I don't blame him for being mad.
Ellie's just all about just tell everybody.
She just wanted the key to the room.
Trying to do what she was initially trying to do, which is squeeze all his secrets out of him and then use them against him and kill him in some fashion.
Wanted the key to the room, okay?
Oh boy. You're like, just tell him, just so that this book is over.
No, I didn't want the book to be over. I just wanted them to be happy.
He eventually told him, you have to deal with it. Told her, I should say.
Yeah,
right,
so it was too late.
So for me, one of the things that I also really liked about this book, because as good as, excellent main characters are, I like to have some secondary characters that I really enjoy. And I really liked Despina, who was the handmaiden who befriends Shahrzad. And she's a spicy meatball. And I really like
it. Spicy meatball.
Yes.
That's my horrible Italian.
Daddy.
I like it. But she seems to have a little something more going on. And
right?
I can't tell exactly right. She does have a big secret in the book, but I don't think that is her ultimate secret. I think that she is involved with some sort of plotting in something crazy that you don't even know about yet.
Like, anyone that meets you and is like, dude, I'm a spy, like, has something else going on. Like, hey, nice to meet you. I'm a spy. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'll be hanging out with you for a while.
But I can't wait to figure out who's she working for? Who do you think? Do we have any clues?
I don't know.
Maybe the Sultan? Do you think?
She
I would hope not. He
is
is
the
not a cool
sister.
dude.
She's the sister of the first wife that died.
Is that your theory?
I just made that up right now on the spot.
And I do like that theory, but I was really distracted for a second because your dog was eating your hair.
I know.
All right.
You stuck it.
So I really liked her. I'm trying to figure out. There's a lot of other motivations because we do have the Sultan, who's obviously going to become a threat in the next, at some point, in some fashion, because he doesn't believe that the crown rightfully belongs to Khalid, and he is not a nice person. And now, what have you, there is a rebellion brewing up in the midst, and it seems like he's really going to cling to that. Do you think the Sultan and Tariq are going to end up kind of matching up together?
They already did, didn't they?
I don't think officially, like, I think they've like had conversations that lead that way, but it's not an official thing at the end of the book. I think the Sultan is rooting for him.
I'm sorry.
Oh, right.
I was actually not thinking of the Sultan. I was thinking of Khalid's uncle. I do not like him.
The Sultan is Khalid's uncle.
Wait, which one are we talking about? Because you're all
guy.
because Tariq hasn't spoken to.
It's the uncle who
The evil guy with the evil daughter.
And
I don't
has
know if
a
she's
daughter
evil.
who's in love with Khalid.
I know,
Okay,
she's not
but
evil. She just
Did Tariq actually talk to him? Didn't he go to the Badawi tribe? That's it. The Badawi tribe.
He did. He goes to the tribe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
There's
Like, I thought you meant that Tariq was talking to him, but
right, but the tribe's working with Tariq.
I don't think that
there's
Tariq
talks
had
that
any.
the Sultan at the end of the book is looking to work with them.
Oh yeah, there. Yeah, I thought you meant like
overthrow with Tariq's rebellion now, because really it is his, despite the fact that it happened with the help of the tribe. And the Sultan wants in on that because he wants to take over once Khalid's out.
Yeah. Of course he wants to take over.
That's what evil men do.
He's always wanted to. But as far as, I'm sorry, what was the question again?
Will he join the rebellion?
Oh, will he join the rebellion?
Or will he team up with them?
He will. He will, but then he'll turn his. I mean, if he does, he'll turn his back on them after they've done their job. Then he'll just take over from that point. Because what they like. Oh man, I just read it like a few days ago. I just finished reading it. But yeah, I mean, yeah, they are planning to work on this together, right? And overthrow Khalid.
They definitely could. So it's
that's what they're planning, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the end.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
We're all in this together.
All right, so let's go, because we're kind of heading in that direction anyway. So, do we have any predictions for the next book?
Okay, first, sorry, hang on. I think first we should read.
Oh, wait.
What?
Before we did that, I wanted to know what you guys' theory on was what your guys' theory was on Shahrzad's note to Ursa, because Ursa was in the middle of a thought, and then she said, "Okay, don't think about that." and we don't know anything about it.
About what's written in the letter?
Yeah, like what she either instructed Ursa to do, because she had them go
To Tariq.
yeah, but then she had something else written for Ursa to, but she never revealed what it was.
Secrets.
I don't know. It's probably something along the lines of, you know, if I'm not able to do this and I die, I just want you to know, or something like that. I don't know if it was necessarily instructions of any sort. I think it was more of a, if I die, this is what you should do. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I had a thought that maybe I have to read it again, but I had a thought at the time that maybe the reason why she wanted them to go to Tariq was so that Ursa would stand in Shahrzad's place as
Oh,
Tariq's
yeah.
wife.
Oh.
But it was never revealed what exactly it said in a no. I mean, maybe it's something as simple as such and such, but the fact that it was actually even put in there and it wasn't even like a full thought, complete thought in the book, it made me wonder, like, well, what's in it? What did she say? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Kind
Maybe
of like...
it could have been. Because it, like
Oh,
I
I
said,
like that.
there was some sort of, like, there was an expectation to Shahzad and Tariq and them being together, and it wasn't an engagement, but it, like I said, it's an expectation. So if that expectation fails, maybe she did want him to have something to fall back on, as it were. I, you're taking that falling part literally, and
I wasn't trying to, it just happened.
And one more thing before we go on to predictions for the next book. Is the Rajput dead?
no. That's my guess, at least. I feel like he's one of those characters that you're gonna think he's dead about 17 times, but he's kind of like the Hulk, and nothing can actually kill him until the final act, maybe.
Because it would be really sad if Vikram died and, like, that was all there was. You know what I'm saying?
Because he was so loyal.
I know. Okay. That's that's what I mean, only because, like, he had an arrow in his chest, right? And there's something about him falling over, and that's all we know.
Yes.
So it kind of, I guess that is that thing where, well, he could be dead, but maybe not, because he didn't, like, actually say it.
One of those, that arrow could have just, like, tapped his ribs and he'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh, he can take an arrow or two. That's fine.
Well, it's hard because we read enough books, as I'm sure anyone watching this does, that you know that unless a character is clearly described as dead, unless
They're not
you see
dead.
a dead body and see that dead body destroyed in some cases, and maybe not even then
Right.
are they actually dead.
Or at least stay dead.
Yes.
Yeah. Too many books. It's why, like, I don't, like, half of me when people die in real life, I'm like, they're not really dead, I didn't see it.
Right, that is a little twisted.
Like, I would have seen it, okay? No.
So is Prim not dead to you then?
Spoiler!
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, that What if somebody hadn't read that book? You don't know.
Oh my gosh! I don't even care. The
This
book is like 5,000 years old now.
Shh. The movie hasn't come out yet. Some
Well,
people
it
just
wouldn't
watch
be
movies.
They're movie watchers.
Oh,
And
those
frankly,
movie
that
watchers.
spoiler has been 4,000 places all over the internet. 4,000
So,
actually a very lean number.
and now make it 4001.
Yeah.
Yay!
Natasha.
All right.
No problem.
All right. So not final. I'm sorry.
okay.
Second book predictions.
So, can I read what is on Goodreads about the second book first?
Sure, go for it.
Okay. So, the much anticipated sequel to the breathtaking The Wrath and the Dawn, lauded by Publisher Weekly as the potent page turner of intrigue and romance. I'm surrounded on all sides by a desert, a guest in a prison of sand and sun. My family is here, and I do not know whom I can trust. In a land on the brink of war, I can't say her name, Shahrzad, I know that's wrong,
God.
has been torn from the love of her husband, Khalid, and the Caliph of Khorasan. She once believed him a monster, but his secrets revealed a man tormented by guilt and a powerful curse, one that might keep them apart forever. Reunited with her family, who have taken refuge with enemies of Khalid and Tariq, her childhood sweetheart, she should be happy. But Tariq now commands forces set on destroying Khalid's empire. Shahrzad, I still can't say her name, is almost a prisoner caught between loyalties to people she loves, but she refuses to be a pawn and devises a plan. While her father, Jahandar, continues to play with magical forces he doesn't yet understand, Shahrzad tries to uncover powers that might lie dormant within her. With the help of a tattered old carpet and a temptress but sage young man, Shahrzad will attempt to break the curse and reunite with her one true love.
Yay! Okay, so what do we think is actually going to happen? Besides with the books,
I
description
thought to be
spells
like,
out.
well, she finds out that she has power. Well, obviously she finds out she has powers.
She already kind of knows.
She knows that something's going on with the carpet.
No, but she also had Khalid's old tutor who came in and said, "Oh, you have powers. You don't know how to use them." That
Like, oh, you don't know you have powers? Interesting.
look
That's
me up
true.
whenever you want to learn a thing or two. Is essentially what he does, but in a less creepy way.
So he's gonna come back.
Do you think he'll be the sage? They say a sage young man. So do we think somebody else will step in to be her tutor?
Oh, true.
Maybe.
Yes.
We'll see.
She's gonna like run away at some point. I'm just like restating what's in the synopsis. I don't know. I think she's gonna be confused,
I think so,
and
too.
she's going to decide that she can break the curse in some way with her new found powers.
Mm-hmm. I think that we're definitely going to see in the next book the fallout between Shahrzad and Tariq, because she's probably going to feel like he is trying to shelter her, and he does mean well, because she doesn't realize that he knows full well that she's in love with Khalid. And I think it's only when she realizes the extent of his plans that he's going to be a traitor to the nation, that he plans to kill him, the whole shebang, that she's really gonna have it out with him, go against him, and that's the point where I think his tirade against Khalid is really going to become venomous. Yeah. Because up to that point he was doing it for her. Now not really. He's kind of doing it to spite her. I think we're going to get to that point in the next book.
I hope it's not like that, but I can see
I could totally see that.
But
Sorry,
I
I'm,
just
I'm just
hope
thinking of
it's
like
not.
that moment of like, you still love her, always, then keep her away. I'm like, oh my god, stop.
Which he's going to try and do. And she's going to fight him every step of the way because that's how she is.
As she should be.
And she's going to find her way back to Khalid. And he's going to be like, why are you here?
Well, so,
And
okay.
she's like, because I need to be here with you. And then he's going to be like, okay. And then they're going to fall in love and get married. Or get married.
Here's a
going
question.
to be together.
In her absence, do you think they're going to like fake her death and then let him continue marrying and killing other people again? Or is he gonna put a stop to that?
That's a good question. And
I'm
would
not sure.
that loophole work?
Right.
Or does she like ruin the pattern and it's as if nothing can, like none of the other deaths count until he kills her?
Because
You know what I mean?
already the kingdom is, broken, basically.
Right, but I feel like that's part of why she was supposed to stay away, so they could like continue as if she was never a part of it. But I don't know if that would actually work.
I don't know if he can do it anymore after her.
That's the other thing. Would he have it in him?
I doubt it.
I think people will try to encourage him to, but he won't actually do it.
I could see that.
But everything's gonna go happily. They're gonna live happily ever after.
Yes, at the end of book 3, darling.
No,
Right.
book 2. It's a duology.
Oh,
Is
it
it?
is?
Are you making that up, or is that true?
I'm not making
I'm
that
a
up.
horrible person.
Oh.
I'm sorry for misleading you, people watching this. There's only 2 books, so at the end of book 2,
I'm
yes,
so used to 3 books.
I'd like to think this is not a completely tragic ending for the series. If that's the case, then I also want to add that I think that her father is going to get way in over his head and
A little
cause
bit.
some serious issues that he does not know how to fix.
Oh, of course.
But she will somehow fix them.
Yep.
With the help of a sage.
Yes.
Because at the here at the end too, she was the one who was like, "What has my father done?" After seeing all that's happened, she already knew that he was responsible for what's happening. Because she's like, "Where's my father?
So,
Take me to him."
okay, I have a question. If he's causing these issues, though, does it really have anything to do with the curse?
No. At least not in my mind. I think she psyched herself out into thinking it's the curse, but it's not really.
The reason that he went mad and is causing that.
But then again, at the same time, if it weren't for the curse, then she wouldn't have volunteered.
There's the
If
rub.
he hadn't volunteered, then he wouldn't have done any of this.
Exactly.
And it wouldn't have destroyed the kingdom. So is it all a vicious cycle?
Exactly. Because if you think about it, the pain that he caused because of the curse caused him to destroy the kingdom.
So maybe it does. Oh, it's so hard to tell.
I think it is part of the curse, though, because the fact that he didn't kill Shahrzad is when things started to come. I mean, because if now I did actually want to pose that question before, but if he did kill Shahrzad, would they still have gone through with what they're doing? We don't know. It could have been prevented somehow because the curse says, "Hey,
if they had killed her right away."
What?
If they had killed her right away.
Yeah.
If they killed her right away.
I think they would have given up.
Yep.
I think they would have been like, it's too late.
at that point, then you'd have to say, well, then it probably is a curse because she's still alive, and
Right.
they're still at it, and then that's why he says that's why all these things start happening, whereas
Right.
her father is,
So it
causing the
was the
rain.
curse. But the twist here is that it's the pain of a father enacting the curse's wrath. Ha! Wrath. Ha! Sorry.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I didn't even do that one on purpose. I'm so
Okay.
funny.
That is not.
All right.
That is stupid funny.
Hey!
And on that note, we should probably call it for tonight, unless we have any last comments from the Peanut Gallery.
No, but we should talk about our next book for next month.
Yep.
And I do have another. Before we do that, I wanted to let anybody who's interested. Pierce Brown is having a reread of Red Rising.
What?
Starting next week, I think.
Yes.
I was looking for my red. Oh, but my friend has my Red Rising.
If you guys have not read those books, I recommend it highly. You can go ahead. We can talk about actually the next two books, next 2 months or 3 months even, if you want to, of what we're going to be reading.
I really only know what we're reading for November because the others are still a little TBA. So let's just go with November for now. We are actually an important change that you need to know. Yes, because Ellie has the book up. We shall announce that we will be reading in November. I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson, which is the first contemporary we've done in a while, actually, and it's a really good book. It's a standalone novel.
We
it
did
was
Vanishing Girls recently, didn't we?
For me, and I'm really excited to be talking about it. But also very important for next month, we always tell you it's the third Monday of every month, the third Monday. Next month it's going to be the fourth Monday because
something important has happened in the third.
Yes. The third Monday, Ellie and I are going to Y'allfest in South Carolina before, and I will be traveling on the third Monday to get home. So that would become impossible. So we're going to be doing November 23rd, which is the fourth Monday instead. So please be there, join us. We're really excited to talk about this book with you, and we can't see what you have to say. All right? We can't wait to see what you have to say. We can see what you have to say. Please don't mind me. It's pretty late.
And then also in December, it'll also be the fourth month. So the November, December will be the fourth Monday, I should say, for each. Because it's such a busy time of the year. So we're doing the fourth Monday on November and December. So keep that in mind.
And we will remind you, but mark it in your calendars, folks, because it's going to be awesome. All right. Unless you guys have something else to say, I think we're good for tonight.
Sounds good.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.